Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I need to show you Demons by Imagine Dragons is what randomized for you. Now I mentioned that song in the first reading that I did, which you can find at the start of this set of readings. It was my own personal reading. What do I need to do? What do I need to heal? And for me it was you need to heal. You need to show others how to heal your fear of endings, your fear of fear, right? Your fear of fear itself. So you can go and look at that. And I was talking about having to go through this analogy that comes through for me all the time in the readings, where it's like you're going into the underworld, you're going into Hades, you're confronting your own inner demons, you're fighting those fears, and you're going to come out of the other side. So they told me coming out of the dark side. I don't know if that's like a Star Wars reference. And you're going to come out back out of that deep dark tunnel back into the light, but you're going to have the Sun card, which is like freedom, right? So freedom from the shackles of the devil, which is your own inner demons. So Cancer, hey babies, I actually mentioned that song and then it randomized for you. So it's funny how that works when I've got like thousands of songs on my Spotify and you get the one that I mentioned. So I do feel like this set of readings is going to be quite like personal for you. It feels like it's aimed at you and some of the other signs to a certain extent as well. Don't be scared of your demons. What am I getting from this? I don't know if this is you or somebody that you're dealing with. I'm going to read some of the lyrics. When the days are cold and the cards all fold and the saints we see are all made of gold. So saints we see are all made of gold to me talks about false prophets, right? When people exploit religion to for their own needs, right, to make money. So you can talk about governments who exploit religion in order to have control over the populace, or you can talk about religious organizations that take a lot of money for charity, but then they have a lot of gold statues. It's like big fancy church and gold statues. It's like, really, is that what you spent my money on? I thought that was going to go and help the needy, but I don't know. So I'm not calling out any specific religion or organization or political system or anything like that. It's an analogy, right? It's an archetype, it's a motif. So whatever you believe, I'm not arguing that, but I think there's always people who exploit good things for their own benefit. So there could be some questioning there for you. When your dreams all fail and the ones we hail are the worst of all and the blood runs stale, I want to hide the truth, I want to shelter you, but with the beast inside there's nowhere we can hide. When you feel my heat look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide. Don't get too close, it's dark inside, it's where my demons hide. So I don't know if you're hiding your inner demons, right? We all have inner demons, we all have shadow work to do. It's the point of being human, it's the point of being on the earth. Again, go back to that first reading, I explain it a little bit in there. It's dark inside, it's where my demons hide. So they dug your grave and the masquerade will come calling out at the mess you've made. I don't want to let you down, but I'm hellbound. I don't want to hide the truth. So I want to save that light. Your eyes, they shine so bright. I want to save that light. I can't escape this now unless you show me how. Look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide. So I've seen some hate for Imagine Dragons. I don't know. I think some people call them sellouts, right? I think they were really rock and then they went a bit more mainstream, so people were like, oh, sellouts. But I don't know why people hate on that Imagine Dragons, because I think they're really, really good. I don't know, they do good music, shut up. So yeah, it's I feel like this reading for you, Cancer. Now I don't know if this is you or someone you're connecting with. I'm getting two roles, right? I'm getting the person who's singing the song. Don't look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide. Like, I don't want you to see the truth of who I am. I don't want to it's almost like this energy of this person who's been wearing this mask again, trying to be the good person, trying to be what society wants of them, but actually is coming through that kind of Lilith in Virgo energy of having a lot of guilt, having a lot of it's almost like, right, I'm going to share something with you now. I was scrolling through my YouTube before, and I don't know why it came up on my feed, but it kind of auto played a little bit. You know, when the video starts running when you've not even clicked on it, and it was a swimwear catwalk show with all these models, and they were bloody beautiful. And I was just like, she's pretty, and I kind of watched her walk down the catwalk, and I was like, oh, I like the way her boobs jiggle. Oh, she's got nice jiggly hips. You know, like I was like watching these women walk down this catwalk, and I felt really pervy. I was like, I don't want to stop watching. They have beautiful bodies. I'm gonna play my card here. I'm gonna say that I've got a lot of Libra in my chart. I've got Venus in Libra. Venus rules Libra. Venus is the sign of beauty, and I think bodies are beautiful. I think human bodies are, you know, all human bodies are beautiful, and some are extremely beautiful, and I like to look at them. I like classical art, right? I like classical sculptures. Bodies, like, they're nice and curvy, they're nice to look at, okay, and I'm not ashamed of that. But it's like the person who I'm talking about, it's like they would feel so much guilt. It's like they would feel like, I shouldn't be looking at these women's bodies, like I shouldn't be sexually attracted, men or women, right, whoever they're attracted to. It's like, I shouldn't be looking at these people, I shouldn't be attracted to that, I shouldn't be attracted to those people. It's like I feel really guilty about it. And it's like, just it's human, it's natural, right? Those models are swimwear models. They've been paid to do that. They know people are going to be looking at the bodies. You know, they probably know that they look really good. Like, it's like, obviously there's things about objectification and things like that, but yeah, it's I don't really feel like they were showing off the swimwear either. There wasn't very much of it, to be honest. But it's like, this is what I mean. It's like the demons for me are talking about feeling things, wanting things, having fantasies, having desires for things or places or situations that, you know, maybe society frowns at, or maybe just this person feels like they shouldn't have these feelings, you know, shame. And I think that's a sign of somebody who hasn't done the shadow work. That's somebody who needs to do a lot of shadow work, right? It's like, what are you ashamed of? Like, what are those demons? Like, own it. Own those things, you know? Like, well, I like looking at attractive women's bodies. Own it. You know, they're gorgeous. Why wouldn't I want to look at them? Like, I should pretend that, oh my God, I'm so offended by those swimwear models. No, they're doing their job and they're gorgeous. Why should I? Do you know what I mean? So it's like what am I trying to say here? The energy that I'm getting from the second person, the person looking to the person's eyes, right, and seeing the demons. There's the person who feels like they have demons is trying to scare the other person away, but the other person is coming in with this energy of like, I'm not afraid of, like, the other person's like, I'm not afraid of your demons. I'm not afraid of, like, why do you think you're going to hell in the first place? You know, like, why are you ashamed? Why do you have so much guilt? So the other person's coming in like, let me see the demons and we'll figure this out. I don't know. Like, what is that dark side? What is that shadow? So it sounds weird, Cancer, right? It sounds really weird. It's coming in with this energy because I'm coming in with the energy, which I assume is your energy because I'm channeling for your reading. This energy of like, talk to me about it, explain it to me. What are you hiding? What are your secrets? Why do you think that you're going to take me down with you? Like, it's always like, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. Tell me your deepest, darkest fears. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of sexy actually. I don't know, but it's because you're the Queen of Cups, Cancer. Some of you could be some kind of healer yourselves. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you work in counseling or psychiatry, or you know, you maybe you work for a service where people can ring up and you know, and just talk. It's like, you're the sympathetic ear. You're the person who people can talk to and tell you the kind of like the stuff that they're scared of or the stuff that they feel guilty about. Maybe some of you are like a priest, right? Like literally a priest, and you sit there in the confessional box and you listen to all the stuff that people, you know, have to confess. It's like you're listening to people's confessions. But because you're the Queen of Cups, Cancer, I want to say that you're healing, right? You're healing because God's unconditional love, right? You know, that's a common thing that people say. So it's like, yeah, I'm not very good at Bible stuff, I'm going to be honest here, but it's kind of coming through that energy of like, God loves you even though you sin, right? That kind of thing. So it's I'd really strongly advise you to go and watch my reading, because it is talking to you about, I had this stuff about the light taking you to the darkness so that you could face those fears and those things that you feel guilty and like shame over, and look at them and exercise those demons. Why is it coming through like really, your reading's coming through as religious? I don't know what that is. So yeah, face your fears. That's how you get to the Carl Jung kind of golden shadow, right? By being whole. Because I think as well that you find that a lot in society, where people who are trying to fit a certain mold, or you know, like politicians, for example, notoriously are terrible for this. You know, they running for president or running for prime minister, and they want to project those family values. You know, it's like, what's mainstream? Oh, we'll say that, you know, we're like this great guy, with the head of the household, with the, you know, he, she, they, you know, switch it around as necessary. But it's like, you know, he's great at sports, he's a good all-rounder, he's everybody's friend, he sits there in the pub with a pint, like, you know, like it's like, I'm holding a baby now. It's like, you know, that whatever's on the surface, you know, that whatever, you know, the Insta lie, you know, the social media presence, you know, that that's a lie. You know that people aren't going to say, you know, that you know, that person running for president isn't going to say, oh yeah, I sat there for 30 minutes this morning watching this swimwear photo shoot because I really like the way that the model's thighs jiggled. They're not going to say that, because is that socially acceptable? I don't care. I don't care. I'm telling you, Cancer, whatever. Like, judge me, dare you. So God created women's bodies. God created those jiggly thighs, and I appreciate that. So it's you know, it's all in how you look at it, Cancer, is what I'm saying. So some of you are so offended right now, and I don't give a shit. Thumbs down, right? So and that's the thing about being authentic, and that's the thing about incorporating your shadow and being whole and being high vibrational. Because you look at these politicians who, you know, they're checking all those boxes. You know, they've got the great social media presence, they hold the right baby in front of the right camera at the right time, and you know, everybody's like, oh, this is such a great guy, where behind the scenes, you know, they've got some intern in their office and they're doing things they shouldn't be doing with cigars. You know that they're like you know that they're having an affair, like with the they're all having affairs, aren't they? That's what all the bloody politicians are doing. It's like such a trope, you know. So it's like, no one's too good to be true. Nobody's 100% golden. They're not really. So who are you idolizing? They're not going to be that. They're not going to be that great. They're going to have shadows. Everybody does, right? And we're not angels, we're not gods. We're here on earth to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes, right? If you're not learning from the mistakes, if you're not doing the shadow work, then you're failing. You're failing the game of life. But if you're incorporating the shadow and you're looking at those parts of yourself, and you're holding your hands up and being like, yeah, that's something I need to work on. You know, that's something I need to deal with. That's something that doesn't benefit me. It's not great. It's actually damaging to me. So therefore I need to go and work on that. I need to go and see Cancer, the psychotherapist. I need to go and sit down with Cancer in the pub and kind of get all this off my chest. So I feel like you're the counselor in this situation. And I don't know who the person is who thinks that they're going to hell, but I can tell you now, they're probably not. Probably not. It's just this guilt, right? Guilt and shame. So Cancer, that was a long introduction, but it's coming through so strongly. Sorry, just maybe some of you think I'm going to hell. I'm gonna, do you know, I'm gonna go down there like little Nas. Your reading's very sexy. There's a lot of sexual energy coming through, Cancer. What's Cancer's shadow? What is Cancer healing? What's Cancer working on right now? What does Cancer need to heal? What is Cancer healing? The Magician and the Six of Wands. Something about manifesting success. Something about, because magicians manifesting, they bring above, right? They bring ideas, fantasies, dreams, creative ideas. They bring them to life. They ground them. They make them something real, something tangible, something part of our world. I keep getting Little Mermaid, part of our world. And having some success with that. I don't know why that's something that you're healing from. Perhaps you have problems in, I don't know, grounding things and making them successful. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that's something that you need to heal, but we'll pull more cards. How will Cancer heal this? Making yourself happy, not being codependent, Cancer. You get this all the time. Working on your own wishes, your own dreams, not worrying too much about other people's opinions, other people's actions, you know, what other people have to think, say about what you do. It's none of their business, right? Learning how to do this, learning how to separate your energy and your emotions from that of the people around you. What makes you happy? Why does it make you happy? What makes you sad? Like I don't know, do you take things too personally, Cancer? Probably. It is what your sign does. Is it really personal? Probably not. It's probably that other person's demons and shadow business, right? It's probably that person needs to go away and work on making themselves happy. So not being emotionally codependent, being emotionally independent. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be single. It just means that you're not going to be needy or clingy or yeah, I'm getting whiny, I'm sorry. 9 of Wands. So you've got 2 9s. So this is part of your work. This is what you're learning to do. You're learning how to pick yourself up. You're learning how to pick yourself up and not fall on other people. So it's like if you have a bad day, right? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this, Cancer, right? The friendship groups, networks are really great. You know, they provide a great emotional safety net for us. So say, for example, you are in a bit of a habit of, I've had a bad day. I'm going to get on the telephone, I'm going to get on Discord, I'm going to get on WhatsApp, and I'm going to go to my friends. I'm going to tell them everything that's happened. I'm going to tell them how I feel about it. I'm going to tell them what that person said to me, what that person did. I'm going to tell them about how the bus was late. I'm going to tell them about how I dropped my bag in the puddle. And it's like you go and you vent to your friends, right? And your friends go, oh, I'm so sorry you had a bad day. Here's a hug. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's such a good thing, Cancer. But what happens if the internet goes down and you've had a bad day? What happens if you can't get in touch with your friends and you've had a bad day? What happens if that emotional safety net, that emotional support group isn't there? You know, are you going to have a panic attack? Are you going to spiral? That's codependency, okay? So it's brilliant that those friends are there for you. I'm not saying that you have to get rid of them. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you venting to friends. That's what friends are for. But when you rely on them too much to the point that you can't cope on your own, that's not healthy, right? That's not you being strong. So what this is telling me is, and again, I keep on getting this this metaphor of you don't have to jump in at the deep end with this. You don't have to make it hard on yourself. You can take baby steps, right, in learning how to do this. So you've had a bad day. Your co-workers have been arses. You know, something went wrong. You know, the computer didn't print out and then it ate the paperwork. It's like whatever it was, you know, that person on the bus said something rude to you. Whatever it is, whatever has made you feel like you've had a bad day, right? You get home, you get on your computer, you get on your phone, you're ready to talk to your friends. You can't talk to them, right? So what I think this 9 of Wands is saying is, Cancer, you've had that bad day, you get home, your instinct is to pick up that phone, your instinct is to type a message, right? Is there anything else you could do first? Yes, you can still talk to your friends, okay? What if, instead of getting immediately on your phone the first second you can, you go and you make yourself a chamomile tea. You go and sit down and you do some breathing exercises for 10 minutes, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something else first, right? I'm going to have this conversation with my friends. Do you know what? I'm going to get myself a bag of popcorn because I know I'm going to be here for some time. So the first time you do it, the first week, right? The first couple of times that something goes wrong for you, where you have a bad day, you resist that urge to call your best friend, you know, your partner, to dump on them. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty about this. Again, your friends want to be there for you, especially Cancer. You're so good at bringing that nurturing energy out of others. Like, people want to nurture you, they want to support you, they want to be there for you. You're not a burden, okay? I want to emphasize that. But I'm saying that you can't always rely on that one thing. You know, the phone a friend, you need to use the other pathways a little bit, because it's codependency. So, you know, those friends are always going to be there for you. You can always contact them, but maybe just try other things as well. It's good for you. So I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that. So yeah. So the first couple of times you have a bad day, you think, okay, my instinct is to pick up the phone. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to make myself a piece of toast, and then I'm going to pick up my phone and speak to my friends. The next time you do it, you know, you do a breathing exercise, but instead of it being 10 minutes, you do a 20-minute breathing exercise. The next time is like, okay, do you know what, I'm going to go and get in the bath for an hour, and then I'm going to talk to my friends. So you interspacing it with not only a cooling off period to just kind of catch your breath, even if it's like you just go to bed for half an hour and cry it out, right? Whatever you need to do. So there's instead of that instinct to kind of immediately get on the phone to your friends, you've got coping mechanisms for if the internet went down, if your friends are all in work. You know, you've got other things that you can do. So you're actually adding to your toolbox of coping mechanisms. I keep saying coping mechanisms, which is a name of Taylor Park's album. I get her a lot. So I don't know, maybe go and listen to coping mechanisms, maybe. So yeah, you're teaching yourself how to rely on yourself. You're teaching yourself how to be stronger. You're teaching yourself how to calm down your own anxiety. And it's like, okay, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe, you know, that day is a really bad day and you really need to talk to your friends and you can't wait. Okay, it's fine. Just talk to your friends. It's fine, okay? It's wearing the armbands, is testing the water, it's learning how to swim. You know, if you think about a baby swimming, right? Okay, you can just launch that baby into the deep end. It's probably one of the cruelest ways to teach a baby to swim. You know, what normally people do is they put the little armbands on the baby. You know, they hold the baby in their arms. They dip the baby's head underwater. Sometimes you see families who are teaching that baby how to swim, you know, making faces at it. So it's like almost like your friendship group are still supporting you as you're learning to swim in your own emotions. That was long-winded. Bloody hell. So what is this? What are you actually healing? Again, it's something about, I want to say it's something about your own idea of what success is, because you get this a lot. It used to come through with like pussycat dolls. I want to be famous, I want to be a star, I want to be in movies. Some of you are definitely on the stage or performers or entertainers in some kind of way. And I remember a reading for you where it was like, it was the ballerina reading, and it was like the metaphor of like somebody who's like a ballerina or an actress, right? But they start to get older and then the jobs start to dry up. So it's like this feeling of wanting to be successful or wanting to be famous. The Six of Wands is like in the spotlight, you know, on the stage. So whatever you're healing, it's to do with your own, it could be your own, you know, life is a stage, you know, life is a performance, you know, the mask that you wear, the people-pleasing element of Cancer, where it's like you're trying to live up to the expectations of others, but then you lose yourself, you lose your own authenticity when you're trying to please the crowd. So I feel like that's what it's almost like this reckless behavior as well. And this is shadow side energy of Cancer. This kind of, sometimes some Cancerians, not all of you, it's not going to be for everybody, don't take it too personally if it's not you. This energy of Cancer doing things that's dramatic, doing things that's like daring because they want to be seen as being like, oh, I'm so wild, you know, like Lana Del Rey wild kind of thing. It's like, so it's like he's swallowing fire, he's sword swallowing, you know. It's like this, look at me doing this daring thing, maybe after a few drinks, right? And it's attention seeking behavior. So just watch out for that, because it's shadow side Cancerian energy. Angel Delannoy, whatever you're working on, and it might be quite personal and private, I may not be fully allowed to know what this is for you. The Angel Delannoy guides you, and again, you can go and watch my reading, and I read out the description of this card. You're protected. Whatever shadow work you're doing, whatever part of yourself is healing in regards to this, pleasing other people, bending to fit into what other people want you to be, you know, feeling like your life is an act, feeling like your life is on stage, your life is a performance, whatever that is for you, however you're healing it, the Angel Delannoy is protecting you while you do the shadow work. So, okay, you know what that is for you, Cancer, I guess. So how do you do it? You learn to swim. You learn to swim without your armbands. You learn to swim without your friends and your family holding you up and stopping you from drowning. So do it slowly, persevere with it. So again, it could be a case of, I'll give you an example. So something that you're told to do if you have like anxiety is to do breathing exercises. Now, originally for me, when I was having my daughter, my first baby, and I was doing the Lamaze breathing, it didn't work for me. It just didn't work, or I said it didn't work. The way that they said to do it in the textbook, you know, breathe in for so many seconds, breathe out for so many seconds, just didn't work for me. But after I had my daughter and I was pregnant with my son, I started to do breathing exercises on my own terms. So I used to take them both swimming. Well, my daughter swimming when I was heavily pregnant with my son. And I had to walk up this, like, it was a bridge that crossed a railway line, right? It was quite steep. And I'd get out of breath. I was pushing this big, heavy buggy and I was heavily pregnant and I was like, you know, it's hard work pushing up that hill. So I started controlling my breathing every time I did it. And I'd 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. It's because my logic was, if I do these breathing exercises when I'm already a little bit stressed, when I'm already under pressure, it's going to be more natural when I'm actually in those situations. So I just practiced this 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And then when I had my second baby, my son, I had that breathing technique down. I was like Lamaze queen. And then when I did exams as well, I had a lot of exam anxiety. When I started to panic in my last exam, I did the breathing and I calmed myself down. You know, there's not a lot of help available when you're in the middle of an exam, you know, there's certain conditions there. But I controlled it. I sorted myself out through the breathing. But it's because I persevered with it. The Nine of Wands is a card about perseverance, not giving up. So there's something that you're meant to persevere with, right? If it really is to be effective, it could be yoga as well. Yoga's hugely beneficial for me. It really has. Doing yoga for like a year, it changed my mental health completely. My own, you know, my confidence improved just so much. It's not about your physical, it's not about how bendy you are or what your body looks like. It's about learning to love your body. So it's like, don't just do it once and give up, persevere with it. I don't know what it is for you. Persevere though, Cancer, with this energy of whatever it is that's helping you become more emotionally independent. So there you are. That's you, the Chariot. Devil on the underlying. Taking control, bringing, as you can see, she's got 2 chess pieces, bringing the 2 sides of yourself into alignment, not seeing yourself as an angel and not beating yourself up for those moments where you are a devil, right? Understanding that we're all a little bit, this is very Cancerian devil for me. She's very, very sexy. Not being ashamed of who you are, not being ashamed of your desires, not being ashamed of what you feel, what you want to feel, like who you want to feel with. Not playing 2 different roles, not being an angel on the streets and a devil in the sheets, not being like the politician in the public and then like the guy who's having an affair behind closed doors. It's like, own it, you know, own it, be it, live it, like be strong. Be full, be whole. Embrace both versions of yourself. Embrace the devil and the angel on your shoulder. They're both your friend, right? And instead of seeing that as conflict, see it as collaboration. All right. Like the Angel Delannoy, exactly. the angel of night, right? She's an angel, but she's an angel that helps you deal with your shadow energy. But she's positive. She's a friend. Okay, what else for Cancer, please? They want another song. Okay, you're getting 2 songs. Look at you being special. Again, some of you could be singers. Sparky's dream, teenage fan club. She lived in space, man. If she lived in space, man, I'd build a plane. Out of looks, I'd beam me up to see her talking again. She painted pictures that never dried. I don't know that song well enough to continue that. Okay. Painted pictures that never dried. That's what I was saying, right? Was it for you, or it was in Gemini's reading? I was talking about an oil painting, but it had a watercolor on top, and it was like hiding the true painting underneath, and then it was like washing off. That's too many. I'm going to take the Crumbling because it's the card that's on its own and it's the one that I saw. But we've also got Unbound, releasing soul patterns. Exactly, releasing soul patterns, contracts and past lives. So you're getting yourself out of some kind of cycle, right? What are you being called to journey to? And you're not seeing yourself as a victim. You're not seeing yourself as the princess in the tower that needs rescuing. You're picking yourself up, you're taking control, and you're doing it yourself, right? You're not seeing yourself as a victim. You're seeing as yourself. You're not seeing yourself as a victim that things happen to. You're seeing yourself as somebody who's empowered, who has the ability to make choices. And you cannot control others. The way other people behave is how other people are going to behave. It's not really about you. That's them being on their own journey. So seeing yourself as separate from the energies of others, seeing yourself as somebody who's in control of your own life and your own destiny and your own shielding, your own shadow healing, and your own wish fulfillment, right? It's really all about you, Cancer, not really about anybody else, is it? So understanding that and seeing yourself in that role as the person who drives the chariot of your own life. So if somebody treats you badly, you know what? Block them. If somebody doesn't respect you, ignore them, right? You can't control other people. I had this exact conversation this morning. I went on a walk with my daughter. We walked through some, like a pathway through some woodland, and there were a lot of dog walkers around, and there was this group of men, and me and my daughter were listening to music, and she was chatting away to me, and I was thinking, are those men having an argument? And yes, they were. So I said, shh a minute, like, as we approached them, and I was just kind of like trying to, as a mother, you know, trying to weigh up that situation, you know, what exactly was going on. 3 men it was, and they had about 4 dogs between them. And as I was walking past this man, he said to me, they're anti-vaxxers. They've been putting up posters about like anti-vax, and like he was having it was like an anti-vax, pro-vax argument in the middle of the woods in the morning what day are we on? On a Friday morning. And I said to this man, I looked at him directly, I said, you can't control other people. They're going to do what they're going to do. Just ignore them. Most people ignore the posters anyway. Like, you don't have to fight them. You can't control them. Don't waste your time on them, right? Like, what? He didn't have to go in and be, you know, there didn't need to be a confrontation. It's like, they believe that, you believe this, right? That's it. That's it. I think I calmed them down, right? They, the 2 anti-vaxxer men like went off one way, and I carried on walking with this other man, and you know, kept on saying, doesn't matter really, does it? What they think doesn't really matter. And I was so kind of like dismissive and like, why do you give a shit? That he kind of calmed down, right? I think I gave him something to think about. But yeah, I broke up this fight with these 3 men and 4 dogs. So yay me. Yay Libra. Yeah, why does it matter? Why does it matter what other people think and believe? It doesn't really, does it? It's not, you're not living their life, Cancer. They're living their life. Let them live it the way, let them believe what they want to believe. Let them do what they want to do. It's their business. It doesn't really impact you in any sort of way, shape or form. And when it does impact you, instead of seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance, how can you empower yourself? What can you do about it? And if you can't do anything about it, I bet there is something you can do about it. you know, we always have choices. So sometimes the shitty choices, sometimes you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but there's a choice. So I don't know. I don't know your exact situation. Maybe it's harder than that, and I'll allow that wriggle room there. I'm just telling you the messages that are coming through at the end of the day. I'm being very, very flippant. The Crumbling, I'm just looking for the page number. It's kind of alphabetical, but they've got different sections, so it's always hard to find the card, to find the page. The Crumbling. Cancer, what are you clinging on to? There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. What did I say about being authentic? Cancer, anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole, so that you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. It's talking about that insta lie again, I'm telling you. Oh, excuse me, phone call. I'm so sorry, Cancer, how rude of me. Where are we? So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Again, it can feel like a personal attack, right? Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. I'm so sorry, I don't know where these burps have come from. You are being called to surrender. I promise I didn't eat anything when I paused there. It's just, maybe it's the movement. You are being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let the great little, they show me like crab hands, to loosen your grip, to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you trying to do your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend that everything is okay? Yeah, it's that insta lie. It's the false facade, right? Yeah, they're showing me like a fake front on a building. You know, sometimes, do you know, like there was a big thing in the news about like the cladding, these old kind of tower blocks from like the 70s that are like social housing. You know, these big ugly concrete buildings, they tried to like make them look fancy and colourful by putting this cladding on, but then there was like these horrible fires because this cladding wasn't like up to the right standard, and it was really, really controversial. And like, I don't know if every country had this, but in Britain it was a huge news story. But that's kind of what they're showing me. It's like you know, the false cladding on a facade on a building. How are you trying to pretend that everything's okay? What you have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations and a view so magnificent that it will take your breath away with each new morn. Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are here with you now. Lay it all on their altar. They can hold it all. Work your light inquiry. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? There's definitely somebody in this reading who is either very religious, a specific religion, or somebody who's losing faith in a religion that they've perhaps been brought up with. I'm getting a lot of like, you know, the Black Madonna and things. I'm getting a lot of like religion messages, demons as well by Imagine Dragons. You know, I'm going to hell. I think somebody's reconditioning their brain from some sort of false scripture. And I'm not saying any specific religion's false. It's just sometimes religion, which I think religion is a brilliant thing. Sometimes there's bad individuals or bad organizations that do take these like very beautiful texts that are meant to guide us, and the people are corrupt, so therefore they use these things and in order to build some kind of like false structure. And you know, that's really, that I think that's really sacrilegious. You know, the people who use religion for their own ends, that's really, that's such bad karma, right? But I feel like somebody's been in a situation like this where actually the facade is cracking. You know, they're seeing beyond the veneer now, and they're seeing that things aren't all quite what they're cracked up to be. It's that energy of like Oh, someone had a reading like this. I can't think who it was. Oh no, I can't think who it was now. Maybe it'll come back to me. It's this energy of perhaps a family or a group of people who, again, maybe somebody's in some kind of political family. It's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as you do it secretly. It's like, these are the rules, but, they're only the rules that we put on for the public face, where actually do whatever you want behind closed doors, just don't talk about it, don't let anyone, do it secretly, do it privately. So it's like actually seeing that, and it's distaste. I can feel it in my mouth, this distaste for it, for being like, it's like, oh, my nose is wrinkling and everything. It's horrible. It's like taking something that should be soulful and pure and meaningful and using it for like political gain is how it's really coming through. I don't like it. I don't know who that's for. Right. I'm also going to read the Chariot because I wanted to say, Cancer, this is your card. I'm so sorry about that little break, Cancer. It's been a few days since my video cut out at the end of your reading, and my battery died, and my phone that I record on it's actually broken, so sometimes the screen doesn't come on. So it took a while for my screen to come back on, and by then I was kind of like doing other things. So I thought I'm just gonna, I just had like one card to read. I thought I'll stick it on at the when I start to do the next set of readings. I'll finish Cancer's reading, but then there's a shift in the energy. I can't remember anything. I can't remember anything that I said in your reading at this point. So I don't know if there's something to do with like, it was coming through this message of like perhaps seeing somebody who has a faulty memory, or perhaps even they just deny that stuff's happened. So it's like you meet somebody, stuff happens, you agree on things, and then it's a few days later and you speak to that person again and it's like they deny all knowledge. It's like, no, that didn't happen. I don't remember what you're talking about. I didn't say that. I don't know whether that's intentional or it's because they've got some kind of memory issue, but that could be a message for somebody. It's like they just don't remember anything, right? I don't know, but I get the impression that I shouldn't read that card that came out for you for some reason, and I'm also biting my tongue to not say what I was saying at the end of that reading, which, okay, I'm just gonna let the cards talk. So what do you want me to tell, Cancer? It feels like there's an energy shift, which is very interesting to me. What message would you like? I trust you to get that one. It's a bit graphic, so I am sorry. It's basically the imagery of this card, trigger warning, is that the girl has she's got a broken heart. It's the Three of Swords, so it's a broken heart, right? And I'm going to show you the imagery, and it's a bit graphic, so a huge trigger warning, right? What's happened here is that she's taken the heart from this bird and kind of tried strapping it onto her chest as though that's going to work, like some kind of Frankenstein monster, right? It's like, my heart's not working. So could be talking about somebody having a heart transplant, but it's coming with this energy of like not knowing how to heal a broken heart or going about it the wrong way. Like, you don't hurt other people. Hurting other people is not going to mend a broken heart. So I don't know, she does have this desperate feel to her as well. I don't know why that's the card you've got, but it is. So I'm just going to read it to you and make of it what you will. Okay. The Lady of Sorrow. My heart is a wound. I cry tears of blood. I've lost what I love so much. Hope, joy, and daylight are gone forever. I live in the heartbreak sanctuary. That's where all the broken hearts come. So broken your heart must be if you see me today. I know your pain. I feel your tears. You've lost what you cherished, and life seems meaningless. But for you, there is a way out of this place. First, cry and feel the sorrow to the deepest. But then, my dear, leave this pain behind, learn from it. This suffering can help you grow stronger. Focus on your recovery rather than on your loss. This is the only way to move forward and to be able to smile again. Loss, pain, wounded heart, but also growth and the recovering process. If you have experienced something that was quite heartbreaking, and I've just come from a random message that came through from somebody, which should be up by the time you get your reading. So it did come through with this sudden death or like unfortunate accident kind of energy. Maybe go and check that out. But it's funny that's the order that it should come in. You know, my reading was cut short, and there was something in that reading that I've just done about an unfinished project. Somebody was completing somebody's unfinished project. So do go and check out that reading if that's applying to you in some sort of way. But it was, I think I want to say, you don't have to be strong right now, Cancer. You don't have to be strong, right? No, if you're in pain, if you're grieving, whatever you feel is valid, and however much time you need is valid. Some people just get on with things, right? And that's the way they cope. Some people stick their head into work, and that's how they cope. Other people, you know, they can't get up. They can't get up. They don't care about anything. There's a sense of apathy, and you know, some people are numb. And there's so many different ways of coping when we're grieving, especially if it's unexpected, you know, especially if it comes in with a shock. And I don't think you pretending that you're healing is actually it's not gonna work for you. I think you have to accept that you're in pain. You have to accept that you are going through something. You have to be honest about that, honest with yourself, and feel everything that you need to feel. And, you know, speak to grief counsellors if that's what you need. Speak to friends, speak to family, Google it, you know, how to deal with grief, and find what works for you, right? There's no right or wrong answer. What works for one person might not work for you, and vice versa. So take the time you need, cry it out. If you want to read soppy books or movies, look at old photographs, whatever you need to do. What I find really good is to get a book where I write down memories of the thing or the person who has been lost. Happy memories, sad memories, funny memories. And just that it helps with the processing. That's what works for me, right? And then you can go back and read those stories, and it's like you're never going to forget because it's written down, it's on paper. So those memories are there, right? And they can be shared, and they can be passed down as well to children and grandchildren. If this is like a grandparent, like I would love that. If somebody gave me a diary of like all the funny stories from one of my ancestors, I would find that fascinating. So it's like a great gift for the future. And it's helpful to others as well. It's helpful to others because there was a book in that other reading, to share our feelings, to share our healing or grieving journeys with others, because when other people are healing or grieving, they need it's good to know that other people have felt that way too, right? They're not alone. So turning your grief and your pain into something constructive and that can help others will help you to heal. I think there's a message there with that. Again, that could just be a message right at the end there of, it just feels like, excuse me, it feels like a shift in the energies, right? A shift in the, just an unexpected change. So I am not professionally trained to help you any more than sharing my thoughts and feelings, and hoping that something is helpful. So do go out and speak to a doctor or some kind of professional counsellor or a helpline if that's what you need. Do go and seek the support that you need, and don't be too ashamed to ask for help if you need help. And with that, Cancer, best of luck. I think Cancer, you're probably the sign in the zodiac that you're the best at nurturing other people and intuitively knowing what other people need as well. That's like the gift of Cancer, to naturally have this Queen of Cups emotional healing energy to you. So I think sometimes it's time for you to you know, go into that shell and all that healing energy you have, really, you know, and that love, pour it into yourself if that's what you need. All right, my lovelies, do take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye. No, at some point this reading's going to end. I remembered that I had an extra message for you that came through the other night. So I don't know if unicorns, especially very glittery, magical manifesting unicorns mean anything to a specific Cancer, but I saw like it was almost like a snowstorm, but it was like a glitter storm. And so sort of like if you imagine like how the wind blows, right? It kind of overlaps. So it's almost like, or like a series of veils. So there was all these different like layers of kind of this kind of glittery. It was kind of like a white, blue, purpley kind of mix of glitters, and then all of a sudden it was almost like it was impressed, like you know, like those things that are made of like pins. They're kind of like silver pins. It's like a science thing, and you can put your hand in it, and then it's like your hand imprint stays in the pins, and you can have it as like a little decorative object. It was like that. It's like it was imprinted with this kind of image of the sort of head part of a unicorn. So I don't know if that has any kind of meaning to anyone, but again, if you're dealing with grief and loss, that could be an important message, and I didn't want to not give you that message. All right, take care. Bye bye.